Hello and welcome to our review of Veronica Mars. I'm Paul,
And I'm Dave.
and this week we are discussing the episode Not Pictured. Oh boy. This episode originally aired May 9th, 2006. Let us start off with, box office, it's Mission Impossible 3 again this week. No surprises there.
Yeah, I figured as much. That and I can't immediately think of anything else that could have topped it.
Number one song in America, though, is different. Any idea what it could be?
Uh, Again, trying to think of songs that around the time. Uh,
Give you a hint, it's a female artist, and it might have been her first number one. I'm not sure on that, though.
um, uh, with around the time. Yeah, nothing immediately coming to mind.
Okay, she had a few number ones before this, I guess, but it is SOS by Rihanna.
Okay. No, that definitely tracks.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Okay, so moving on to video games, we have a couple of interesting releases here, I would say. Alrighty, so May 3rd, if you are a PC gamer, you could pick up Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
I believe we supposedly went over this one. It's just gone over to PC now.
I think so. There's so many Tom Clancy games, though, I can never remember.
Mm.
Especially in this era. This is like the era of Tom Clancy.
Mm.
May 9th, if you had a PSP, you could pick up NBA Ballers Rebound.
Again, supposedly, if it was a case of playing a supposed basketball game on a handheld system.
Yeah, it's one of the part of the NBA Ballers series, which I believe is what the NBA Jam series turned into, kind of thing.
Mm.
So, and finally, on May 9th, if you had a PC, you could pick up Rise of Nations, Rise of Legends. That's a terrible title.
Too many rises?
Too many
Like,
rises. Too many things are rising. Yeah. So, not a ton of releases, but, they're it's a very 2006 lineup.
mm.
Alrighty, time to move on to the episode. Alrighty. After the Aaron Eccles trial, he is interviewed by the press and cheering fans. Veronica tells Keith that the Manning father has offered $20,000 for the capture of Woody. Veronica talks to Wallace about Jackie leaving. Keith visits Vinny in prison, and they agree to track Woody down together. Veronica and Keith learn that Woody was treated for chlamydia. In a dream, Veronica shares a happy family breakfast after her graduation, meeting Wallace for the first time that day before meeting Lily. Veronica makes a fake call as Gia to Woody's lawyer, and he reveals that Woody is living at the Quail Creek Lodge under the name Mr. Underhill. At Veronica's graduation, Keith says that he's going to chase Woody, and Mac tells Veronica that she is going to a hotel with Beaver that night. Just before he can graduate, Weevil is arrested for the murder of Thumper during the ceremony, a real dick move by the sheriff.
Yeah.
Veronica graduates and says goodbye to Principal Clements, which is a pretty cool little scene.
Yeah, very much so.
Keith surprises Veronica with plane tickets to New York. Alicia Fennell tells Veronica that Wallace has left for Paris to track Jackie. Veronica calls Jackie and tells her that she knows that she was never accepted to the Sorbonne and asks her to meet Wallace in New York. At Woody's hiding place, Keith attacks and tasers him. However, Woody denies crashing the bus. Veronica sees a Little League team picture in Woody's restaurant, which suggests that Beaver was on Woody's baseball team and thus connected to the crash. Veronica dashes to the after graduation party. Beaver and Mac are about to have sex, but while she's in the shower, Beaver reads a text from Veronica to Mac warning her, and Beaver texts Veronica back to meet her on the roof. Aaron Eccles threatens Veronica in the elevator. Beaver meets Veronica and puts a gun on her. Veronica explains her hypothesis that he killed Marcus and Peter so that they would not spill the news of their molestation, and that he got the explosives from David Curly Moran, convinced the PCHers that Curly destroyed the bus before killing Curly himself, also writing Veronica Mars on his palm. Veronica asks Beaver how she got chlamydia. Woody had it, and Beaver transmitted it to her the night she was assaulted, revealing that it was him who assaulted her. Beaver is about to blow up the plane that has both Woody and Keith on it. Beaver pushes a button, and there's a flash in midair. Beaver tases Veronica, wanting her to kill herself by jumping off the roof, then turning a gun on her before Logan appears. Having read the text Veronica forwarded, the two steal Beaver's gun, and he ends up committing suicide instead of facing the consequences of his actions. Aaron and Kendall are on a couch in his hotel room, and while she is in the shower, Clarence Weedman appears and shoots him in the head, killing him. The scene moves to Australia, where we learn that Duncan organized the murder, which seems fair to me. Jackie meets Wallace and tells him that she had to go back to New York, where she is actually from, in order to care for her 2-year-old son, whom she left with her mother when she came to Neptune to reconnect with Terrence. Veronica learns that Keith is alive. He was never on the plane, but Woody was. Kendall receives $8 million, as Cassidy basically gave her the money as part of her plan. Veronica and Logan rekindle their relationship. Kendall meets Keith with a business proposal, and as a result, he misses his plane ride to New York with Veronica. So, what do we think of this episode?
Just with all the particular things within this one, it was a bit just.
Yes, this is a very dark episode.
Yeah, and again, just with seeing the particular characters it worked with and reveal of who the particular things were, there were little hints of, oh, if I caught those one or two things, I probably could have guessed that. But also the case of, oh my gosh, why didn't I guess that?
Yeah, this is one of the ones where I feel like it's an interesting twist to have it be Beaver, but like I feel like they play fair with this one. Like I feel like they've done a good job of like not making it so you couldn't figure it out. If you like kind of were like really paying attention, I'm like you could probably suss it out, but it would be difficult.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the biggest things was one of the ones within the episode of the specifics of there were the three people, but it was hidden for the third person who it was. And it wasn't until the last little bit of Veronica going to the restaurant and seeing the additional picture of the Beaver on the younger softball team and whatnot that everything just sort of clicked in place from there.
Yeah, but I feel like they did reference him playing baseball or something earlier in the season. I could be wrong though, but I feel like there is enough there that you could in theory have figured it out. Yeah, so do you think it's a good conclusion to the season? Are you satisfied with who the killer is?
Again, it's one of those particular things of it's interesting enough of at the very least, everyone kind of in the episode kind of got the comeuppance that were coming to them in certain respects. The couple people got out of their comeuppance from what was done by them. And then things are good. And then there's some other things that are kind of a little bit more questionable. So the things that will supposedly be heading into next season or any other sort of thing from that just sort of leaves so many things that could supposedly happen.
Yes, and obviously this is the end of season 2. They weren't entirely sure if they were coming back for season 3, I don't think, because this is right when The UPN goes away, and then it combines with the WB to become the CW.
Mm.
So they were, I think, a little nervous that they weren't going to get renewed here. Obviously, they do because there is a season 3, but there are some changes for season 3.
Mm.
So one of the big things you'll notice in season 3 especially is they get rid of the season-long mystery, and they decide to kind of do shorter, multiple episode mysteries.
Okay.
So I think
Yeah.
there's 2 main mysteries in season 3.
Okay. Because the particular thing I was going to comment until you confirmed things from there was it got a said a little bit more Scooby-Doo oriented mystery a day sort of particular sorts of things, but no, it's the case of it's seasonal multiple mysteries, but more so aside from one, it's around one or two that kind of happen.
Yeah, I think the plan originally was to do like 3 mysteries kind of throughout the season, but it
Ooh.
ends up being 2. So,
Huh.
if there's nothing else, we'll do a quick preview of the next season, and then that'll be it for season 2.
Mhm.
Season 3, the first episode, which is entitled Welcome Wagon. Oh boy. We're going to be introduced to some new characters, mainly Piz and Parker Lee. Mac and Dawn Lamb will also become season regulars, and we will. Veronica is going to start college. Yeah, I don't really want to spoil anything else because, oh boy, some big.
Kind of the case of, yay, new supposed setting. Just about almost all the same shit that typically happened from the last season.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But at least Mac is going to be like an ongoing character. Like we're going to get more Mac, and I really like that
Yeah,
character. So
especially with what happened to her within the last episode and whatnot, dealing with all the stuff.
yeah, her whole thing with Beaver there was oh
Yeah.
boy. Anyway, if there's nothing else about this episode, I've been Paul.
I've been Dave.